How to apologize to a customer for bad service. I'm going to give you specific steps on how to handle that. As entrepreneurs and business owners, we know that if we have a clear plan, anything becomes possible. And if you can have a clear plan, a clear process to create that plan, and a way to create clarity with your partner or spouse, you can drive to amazing heights. All right, so if you're watching this, you're likely in the position where you've got somebody who's a little frustrated and you need to go and address it and see how you can help them or how you can apologize to them. First and foremost, this is where you've got to go in with the right headspace. You've got to go in with the right attitude. If you go in and you're defensive, realistically, that customer's in a position that they're looking for a fight. They're either disgusted, they're angry, or they've given up completely. So this is where how you start this is important. First thing is to come in curious and humble, understanding that maybe they're right, maybe they're not. But from their perception, they're 100% right. And this is where it's important for you to walk in. It's like, okay, cool. Starting off with, be calm. If you come in and you're amped up already, they're gonna amp up. You're gonna build off each other's energy. But if you come in and you're calm and say, boy, I'm sorry to hear that you're frustrated and that this happened. Be curious then. And when you're being curious, please strive to listen to hear. Don't strive to listen to respond. And what I mean by this is sometimes when people are in a confrontational position, oh, I listened, but they aren't really listening. They're looking for ways that they can counterpoint, another counterpoint. One of the main things you're doing when you're apologizing to somebody for bad customer service is actually just allowing them to vent. So I would encourage you to be open and honest, but ask questions and let them roll. Go through, push. Now, in some cases, like I said, maybe they're wrong. At this point, you don't know. And this is where the more you can ask questions and be curious and really try and understand their perspective. I like the phrase, help me understand. Okay, so help me understand. What are you thinking here? How was that perceived? Why do you believe this happened? So those are the first couple of steps. Once you do that, allowing that person to completely vent and get those things out there, well, you've done a couple of things. One of the first things is that you've allowed them to get it off their chest. Two, you've come in very calm. You're acknowledging that they're in a frustrating position. You still may not have even acknowledged that anything's gone wrong. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But how you set this and how you set the tone is going to be important. Now, as you go through this, start looking for solutions. Maybe make some notes. What about this? How about that? Try and understand where things broke down in the customer service chain. Maybe it was training. Maybe it was the wrong person. Maybe the expectations weren't set correctly. But this is where you have the opportunity to realize that this person's frustration is a symptom of something likely broken within your own business. And if that's the case, if you're the leader of the business or you're leading this group, you're the one who's accountable to help define those things. So as you go through, make your notes and start looking and exploring at ways that you can. Now, if it's something simple, it's a coffee shop or something and somebody did something inappropriate, can you solve the solution right then? Or offer a solution right then and solve it? Can you give something away? Can you add something to it? Now, part of the reason why this is important is that if somebody has a great experience at your place, they're not nearly as likely to tell everybody about what a great experience it was. Versus if they have a negative experience, they're more likely, statistically, more likely to tell almost 10 times as many people, these people did this and it was frustrating. And then if they come to you and it amplifies that frustration, it's going to make it worse. So if you can step back and solve the problem immediately, great. Now, if you're in a high-end, your pharmaceutical sales or a big high-end manufacturing or something like that, well, you may say, look, I need to do a little bit more research and see what we can do here. But again, you're listening and you're looking between the lines and you're striving to understand, where did I fail? Where did I allow things to fall through the cracks? What can I do and how can we solve that? Once you have those things, even once you solve it, even if you give the person an extra coffee or a piece of cake or something that makes them happy, how then can you say, all right, let's understand why we had this issue? So the first thing is to be calm and listen. The second thing is to be curious and ask lots of questions. Third thing is to try and solve or mitigate it as much as possible right away. And then the fourth thing is to really start understanding, what can I be doing to solve this problem so that it's done forever? And then lastly, I'm going to encourage you to follow up, even if it's something small. A handwritten note that says, hey, thank you very much, and again, we apologize for the inconvenience. Here's a small gift card. Or following up if it was a customer, it was a B2B kind of thing, following up a month later, 2 months later, 6 months later. But when you do this, you're saying, no, look, I heard you. That's number one thing. I'm working on solving the problem, and I'm following through to make sure that you're happy. When you do this is actually some of the very, very best work you can do. It's almost better in some cases than when you do a great job right out of the bat. Because if I'm gonna have an experience and it was good, I might tell some people. If I have an experience and it was a shit show, but somebody stepped up and they did the right thing and they were curious and they listened and they solved it and then they followed up, I'm likely to tell a lot more people about that. So it's where you can turn that around and take it as man, this is a mess, and roll it all the way into a huge opportunity to expand it. So if you found any value with this, please subscribe to the channel, check us out. And if you have questions, you're always welcome to reach out to us at theaspiringsolopreneur.com. Keep smiling.